Hello and welcome. So many of us dream of taking our business global, seeing our products and services reach new people in new corners of the world. It's a powerful ambition, but it takes more than just a dream. It takes a strategy.
So, if you're one of those people, if you've ever found yourself wondering what it would really take to expand beyond your home market, then you've come to the right place. It's a journey with incredible potential. But let's be real, you can't just set off on a journey like that without a map, right? You need a clear guide to help you navigate all the opportunities and, yes, the challenges that lie ahead. So, think of this as your strategic guide to making that global expansion a reality. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to walk through this journey in 5 clear steps. First, we'll look at the global opportunity. Then, we'll talk about choosing your market, researching the terrain, building your blueprint for entry, and finally, making sure you stay on course. Okay, first things first, let's talk about how you even approach this whole thing. See, succeeding on the world stage, it almost never happens by accident. It all starts with a fundamental choice. Are you going to react to the world? Are you going to proactively go out and shape your own future in it? And that really brings you to a fork in the road. On one side, you have the reactive approach. This is when an opportunity just lands in your lap. Maybe an inquiry from another country. It's a starting point for sure, but it's not a strategy. The other path, the proactive one, is about taking the driver's seat. It's about systematically searching for the right markets and building a deliberate plan for growth. This is where real, lasting success comes from. So, once you've decided to be proactive, to really take charge, now comes the big question. Where exactly are you going to go? Picking the right market to plant your flag is one of the most critical decisions you'll make. You can't just throw a dart at a map. It's about finding that perfect balance, and that means looking at 4 really key areas. First, your product itself. How unique or specialized is it? Second, the market factors. Is the country's market large? Is it growing? Is it stable? Third, the marketing factors. What's it actually going to cost you to sell there? And finally, you have to be honest with yourself about your own company. What resources do you have, and what's your appetite for risk? And listen, it's super important to remember this. Just picking a country, that's not enough. Not even close. You have to go deeper and segment that market. That means finding the specific groups of customers that you can realistically reach, serve, and of course, be profitable with. This focus is absolutely crucial. All right, so you've got a country circled on your map. Now it's time to do your homework. Think of this as your reconnaissance mission. Doing good research is what's going to save you from very expensive surprises down the road. It's all about turning your assumptions into solid facts. And look, this isn't just guesswork. There's a tried and true process here, a clear 5-step path that turns all those unknowns into solid facts. You start by defining exactly what you need to find out. Then you plan how you'll get the info, you gather it, you analyze it, and you pull it all together in a final report. Following these steps gives you the confidence to make the right call. So what exactly are you trying to find out? Well, you're building a complete picture, a full intelligence report on your target market. You need to understand the culture, the economy, the political situation. You need hard numbers on the market size and where it's headed. You have to know who your competitors are, and you absolutely have to understand all the local rules, the tariffs, taxes, and regulations that will affect your business. Okay, this is where it all starts to come together. You've picked your market, you've done the research. Now it's time to drop the actual blueprint, your detailed, step-by-step international marketing plan for how you're going to enter that market and win. And speaking of your plan, check this out. This graph, called the S-curve, shows something really important about how marketing works. When you first start spending, sales might grow slowly, but then you hit a sweet spot where your efforts really take off and sales shoot up rapidly. Eventually, they'll level off. The whole goal of your plan is to find that sweet spot of rapid growth. So, when all is said and done, your final blueprint needs to have solid, clear answers to these 5 massive questions. 1. Are you really truly committed? 2. Which specific countries are you targeting? 3. How will you get in there? Will you export directly, find a partner? 4. How are you going to adapt to a product, your price, your promotion for that market? And 5. How are you going to structure your team to make it all happen? But here's the thing about any great plan. You can't just write it, put it in a drawer, and forget about it. The world doesn't stand still, markets are always changing, and neither can you. The final part of this journey, and maybe the most important, is constantly checking your course and being ready to adapt. And that brings us to this idea of a control sequence. The most important takeaway here is that control isn't a one-time check-in. It's a continuous loop. You set your goals, you measure what's actually happening, and then you take corrective action. It's a cycle that just keeps going, keeping you agile and on track. It's this cycle of planning, measuring, reviewing, and then adapting. That's really the secret sauce. That's what separates the businesses that thrive globally from the ones that don't. It's how you make sure your strategy stays grounded and effective in the real world, no matter what it throws at you. So let's just quickly recap the journey we've mapped out. It's really a 4-part process. Select your market carefully, research it thoroughly, plan your entry meticulously, and then control and adapt as you go. It's a clear, logical path from a big idea to a successful global business. Now, with this strategic map in hand, that big, ambitious journey of going global, well, it probably feels a lot more achievable, doesn't it? The path is clearer. So the only question left to answer is the one that matters most to you and your business. Where will your journey begin?